Welcome back to Southwest Florida. We're so thrilled to have here in the studio, finally, you've seen him on the show at the Dr. Martin Luther King Day Gala. We got Chris Grisby here. Welcome, Chris, to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here today.
And it's good to get you here, man. You know, your generation, television people, I always like getting you on the show because I can remember the days when I was a little, 20-something, 30-year-old guy trying to was making my way in television. But of course, I didn't come the traditional TV route. You have done just a spectacular job since you've been here in the area and making a name for yourself and highlighting some of the great things that are happening in Southwest Florida. Your former job, you were a reporter at Wink. Now you moved on to what I call bigger and better things. Tell us what you're doing now.
So right now I'm starting up a news organization, digital, since that's the way news is going. A lot of people are consuming information from the palm of their hands of their phone.
Right.
So we said, okay, let's start up a digital environmental news organization to showcase what's going on in our environment and how it relates to us. So we kind of like to call ourselves the Vice News for the environment of Florida. And we had a nasty red tide. We had a nasty blue-green algae right back behind you last summer. And we just want to take measures and educate the public about how these problems happen and what it can affect and how it can affect our health.
When you say we, who is we?
So it's me and like-minded citizens throughout Southwest Florida. Shortly after I left Wink News, a lot of people came together to support me and really want me to continue reporting on the environment and what it means to Florida and how it relates to us within our own backyard.
Mm-hmm. So how do you get the message out, and who is your audience for your segments?
So our audience is all of Florida. It's specifically Southwest Florida, since this is our home and this is where everyone lives, the target audience. But people can check out all of our videos, all of our segments, all of our episodes on 4truthmedia.com, as well as YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So we're all across every big major social media platform, just trying to spread awareness about our environment and how it relates to us, because my Bible tells me that we should be stewards of our environment. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
What has been the response from the public who has seen some of the work?
The public, I think they like it. I won't go out and talk to every single person, but overall, the likes, the mentions, the shares, for us to be only 4 months old and to have as much of a reach we do, it really speaks volumes on exactly why we exist, our mission, and hopefully it'll save this environment that we all moved to Florida to or grew up in.
Were you always environmentally conscious, as a young adult, or did your job in reporting make you more conscious from the things that you got a chance to learn about?
Well, honestly, I think it was the job. It came to me. I was never a so-called environmentalist. I grew up in Texas and I did everything, plastic straws, every single thing that most environmentalists harp on, I should say. But throughout my reporting at Wink News this past summer and seeing all the devastation that took place not only in this river, but in the Gulf of Mexico, and looking at businesses and how it affected people, especially those servers, people who relied on the tourism industry, I think that was my calling, because this right here, we got to protect it because our environment is our economy.
Do we have any solutions, though? There's nothing to stop more tragic situations from occurring, is it?
Well, it all starts with pollution. Pollution is the greatest source that causes this mess. You have a lot of nitrates and you have a lot of phosphorus that are getting into our water quality that make blue-green algae or red tide want to eat it like it's some candy, because that's the way they look at it. They look at it as food, sugar. And when you see sugar, me or you, it's candy, like a kid.
I see.
You want to eat it and keep growing. And as the climate continues to get warmer, these bad nutrients that are plaguing up our water, it'll keep going and feeding more and more, because all you need is sunlight, water, and air. And
you sound like a little scientist now. That reporting has really gotten you, you've learned a lot.
Yes, sir, to say the least.
Now, a typical day, how do you come up with a topic to keep your channel current and interesting?
Well, the thing about 4Truth Media is we're a little bit different than your traditional mainstream media outlet, whereas every day at Wink I would come up with stories and I would pitch these daily stories. But at 4Truth Media, the community, that's the pitch room. So they're telling us, whether it's Facebook Messenger, whether it's email, whether it's calling, saying, hey, this is what's happening. Hey, boom. And then we do kind of like a poll. What do you guys want For Truth Media to investigate next?
Really?
And so based on the audience, they do that poll, and whatever poll wins, we take it and we run with it to see what investigative journalism we can do.
When you say investigate, you're probing then. You're really like almost 60-minute-ish about what you're doing?
Yes, sir. So no longer am I telling stories in a minute and a half. I'm getting about 8 minutes to 10 minutes to really go in depth in these stories, and no longer is it sound bites being cut. It's conversations being had, and it's a new, different type of storytelling for me in my career, but I love it because I'm actually honing in on these conversations and not running.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.